apartment was actually so run down and dilapidated when they first got in here that they had to gut all these buildings. Like I had mentioned, there was lead-based paint on the wall, and they had asbestos backing on the flooring. So everything had to go. But fortunately, Memphis Housing had the floor plans for Lauderdale Courts, and they did this floor plan and the two above it the exact same as all the ones from the original. These three are the same. All the other ones on property are totally different.
Oh, wow.
As far as the paint scheme and everything, that all came from Memphis Housing, so it would have been the exact same paint here. If you look on the walls, you'll notice that there's some outlets and light switches in brass, and others are in they have white coverings on them. If it's in brass, that's where an original outlet or light switch would have been. If it's in white, it's wouldn't have been here, so they didn't have everything that would have been here. And Alex had added some outlets and stuff for code reasons. So.
Now, did they get the furniture from the Presleys, or is this just period pieces?
Yeah, everything in the apartments here based on historic facts. So the Presleys, this furniture would have been here when they got here.
The apartments were furnished.
Yeah, because they didn't, coming from Tupelo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
They did buy a couple things when they were here. I think they bought their first TV in '52, so that would have been when they were here. They brought the radio with them from Tupelo. There's a trunk in the bedroom that they would have brought with them, and then the fans as well. So they brought two fans with them and a Bible that's in the burning glass. The flooring, the original floor company that had put these floors in here, they actually were still in business when Alex was doing the renovations, and she got them to come back out here and put the exact same
Oh,
floors
very
in.
nice.
So,
Okay. So they were wood, parquet, yeah. Wow.
Decorations on the wall. Elvis actually would have won a lot of these things at the Tennessee State Fair and brought them home to give to Gladys, and she would have hung them up and used them as decoration. One of the ones that people a lot of times are attracted to, I guess, is a Jesus picture.
This is his?
No, it's not his, but a lot of people see that and they're like, oh, I had one of these. It was a very popular prize to give away back then.
I see.
And stuff. And,
I see.
I've actually been told that there's a picture exactly like that one upstairs at Graceland, so there's one just like it there.
Hey.
Yeah, if you want to come in.
Wow. And let's check out the bed. Elvis had Vernon and Gladys took the smaller room, right? Yeah. And gave Elvis the big room. And they gave him the big room, right?
Yeah. And there's a reason behind that. Get into that here.
Was it because he was an only child?
No, it's actually because if you look out that window over there, you'll notice that there's not a drop. And if you look out the window in this room, there's a very large drop. Elvis actually was a bit of a sleepwalker. And they would have wanted to sleep with the windows open back then, to catch a breeze at night. And they didn't want him falling out that window when he was sleepwalking. So that's why he got the bigger of the two rooms.
Oh, wow.
And that played a major
So it was true that he was like an insomniac kind of thing.
Yeah, he sleptwalk, yeah. And Jerry Schilling, I actually did a tour with him, and he was like, yeah, that's true, you did sleepwalk.
That is true. I read that, and I always thought it was because of the drugs. And he just got, spastic from the drugs. But so he was like before fame, he had trouble with sleep.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and that played a major role in his life too. Because,
yes, it did.
Well, the window there, because he actually could sneak out of that window. He'd sneak out of that to go down to Beale Street. His parents would only let him go on Tuesday nights because Tuesday was whites only day. Tuesdays, but luckily for us, he could sneak out of that window at night.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
All those musical influences.
Yeah. So on Beale Street, it was like whites.
That was whites only day.
Really?
And then,
so only whites were allowed on the street?
On Tuesday nights.
Oh, wow.
I think it was
with black performers, or how'd they do that?
How the performers were.
Wow.
They had whites only day on Beale Street, and then they had blacks only day at the zoo.
Oh my God! Oh wow!
Yeah, so different times for sure.
Yeah, and this was segregated too. This was whites only here.
Exactly. Yeah, and then they had I can't remember the name of it, but it's torn down now. It was another apartment complex that was identical to this one. That was separate but equal. Black housing. So,
in Memphis?
In Memphis. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
so hey.
Basically like the same thing, but a different apartment community. So.
Wow.
The yeah, we have the comic books there. Elvis liked to read comics when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm still working on getting the Captain Marvel because that was the one that he really liked to read.
Ah.
Well, hopefully we can be adding one of those here soon.
That's fantastic.
He used to like to read National Geographic because he liked the idea of flying, or the idea of traveling, but didn't like the idea of flying.
Yeah, he hated flying. I eventually got over it and bought a plane, but yeah, I heard
that's
that.
why as a kid he would read the National Geographic. So
Oh,
kind
wow.
of supplemented. Obviously, being poor, he couldn't really go very far. So.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that trunk there is representative of the trunk that they brought with them from Tupelo. The kisses on the wall. There's a funny story behind it.
Is that tourists? Elvis fans?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Elvis fans.
Well, when Alex was doing these renovations in here, she actually had a lady from Scotland get in contact with her, and she wanted to get married at Graceland, and she wanted to spend the first nights of her honeymoon in Elvis's apartment. And this is one of the only places where you can sleep where Elvis actually slept.
Right.
She postponed her wedding for 2 years until Alex got this place renovated back to the way it was. And she was the first person to stay here.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Alex had to get her out of here because she didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
After she got her out, she was doing a little inspection to kind of, make sure that everything was, fine in the apartment, nothing was stolen or anything like that. Because we're worried about that, but nothing was stolen. Everything looked just fine.
How do you keep track of that, if I can ask, for people that do stay here?
Well, I basically know everything that's in here. Alex
Do you
knows.
really have to? Do you like move a lot of this stuff,
I've never
or do you?
had any issues with anybody taking
Really?
anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing, which is kind of surprising. You think people would take.
It's very
something,
nice.
but
Yeah.
And like with a lot of the things, like the pictures and stuff, those are all those aren't originals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
somebody
No,
could
I
take that and
that's
print
it.
another
Yeah.
one out
Yeah.
and put it in there. So it wouldn't be a really big deal if somebody took something, but they don't. So it's,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
thing.
Because I noticed that in Graceland, everything's a hall. You never get to go into a room.
Exactly.
You're in the hall all the time. So,
Which that's what's kind of cool about this. Since nothing
Yeah.
is original here, it's all renovated back
Yeah,
the way it
yeah.
was. People can really kind of get like a, feel like they're there, kind of,
right,
like
but you got the
get into
space
it.
and the room and the area and the location.
But anyway, so after she got her out of here, she actually looked behind the door here, and there was a kiss mark on the wall. So
Okay.
that was the only thing that was left. But she left it on the wall, and it had started to
It
spread
became a
throughout
trend.
time. And people started writing on the wall, and Alex didn't really like that.
Oh no.
So she documented all the original ones and had them painted over, and then just kind of bleed through a little bit. But everything on here is everything that's been added since.
So these are real kisses, then, real lipstick and stuff. I noticed. I was noticing the wall at Graceland and how it, they write on the wall.
Yeah.
What was interesting that I noticed is that everything's in English.
Really? Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if that sounds odd to you, but it seemed odd to me that, this guy was big in like Japan and Asia and and I just kept looking down the wall for something in, I don't know, Farsi or Chinese or Japanese. Everything is in English.
I know we get a lot of like Brazilian fans.
Yeah, he really was international.
Yeah, I've had people from all over Europe coming tour here. So.
And this is no door on the closet.
There's a reason behind that. The original architect, he included closets in all of these units, but he didn't. He included closets in Memphis Housing. They asked him, why are you including closets? These people are poor. They don't have clothes to put in them. They don't need them. And he said, well, they got to at least have the clothes on their back. They need a little something. And so Memphis Housing said, that's fine. You can keep the closets, but we're not going to pay to put any doors on them. So none of the closets at the courts had doors.
But they did come furnished.
Yeah, they
that's
came,
very nice.
When you're coming from not having anything, you kind of got to realize like people need some furniture. This is Burning Glass's room. I got pictures of Elvis over there. I had pictures there. The precious.
I see. I see.
Really gotten hurt if you fell
It could be a drop. Wow, is that cool?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Wow.
I'm thinking Mama's boy. I'm thinking Mama's boy. It's
You want to come in the kitchen? We got a couple things.
How about the bathroom? We'll
hit that one last.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So in the kitchen here, a couple different things. If you notice, we have two different dishes. That's because Elvis was he was very particular about how his dishes were washed, and he had his own set of dishes. So that's why we have that there.
Was it because he was paranoid or
I think
particular,
or particular, maybe a little bit of a germ freak. I did have a couple people, which doesn't make sense too. They told me when he would drink from a coffee cup, he wouldn't drink from it. Normally, he'd drink from it like this. That's because he didn't want his lips touching everybody else's.
Oh, wow. I know he had problems with Priscilla when she had a child.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
He didn't like making love to any woman that had a child.
Oh.
Just didn't like that. And it's really wild. The one time he slept with her, all those years that he lived with her, she lived with him, they never made love. He'd tease her, and then go, you know, get a groupie. But, you know, but the time he made it with her, she conceived Lisa, and he disowned her. I mean, he just wouldn't sleep with her. It's just, it's that kind of, you know, germ kind of thing. It's interesting.
Then up here, we've got some Tupperware. That's actually Stanley Home Products. Gladys actually used to throw Stanley Home Products parties here. Yeah, which was Tupperware.
Oh wow, yeah, and Tupperware was like the thing, wasn't it? It was like the storage thing.
Yeah, so that's why we have that up there. We got Vernon's lunch pail there. Then there's another dish in the sink there. That's because when they did their monthly inspections of the courts, the Presleys only got written up for one thing while they were here, and it was dirty dishes in the sink. So Elvis got him in trouble with his dirty dishes.
Were his parents clean, or was it? I mean, did Elvis kind of like affinity for cleanliness come from like dirty parents, or
sure.
you know, like slobs, or?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure their living conditions in Tupelo weren't very very cleanly. I mean, you never know.
Because he was that way about his clothes, of course, you know, and about his hair and all that stuff. But it was like, you know, it's just, I don't know. So they had monthly inspections, and it was for the building or for the tenants? Was it like a welfare check, or was it
for the building? Like they would check for cleanliness.
I see. Okay, so they were worried about pestilence and things like that, roaches, and you know, and them destroying the apartments and stuff like that.
So the sink and stove there, you'll notice that they're the exact same ones that were in that picture downstairs. Those two actually came from another Memphis housing unit that they were tearing down. A lot of the stuff in here, Alex did this on a $0 budget. So if it was going to be in this apartment, she either had to pay for it, or it had to be, found on the side of the road. Which a lot of this stuff was, picked up on the side of the road, yard sales, stuff like that.
Priscilla, no, they didn't ask the Presley estate at all.
EPE actually wanted to. They wanted to have the apartment, but Henry Turley owns the property. I think that's why that they didn't get it, was because we lease out all these apartments.
Yeah.
We didn't want to have a business.
I
inside,
see.
Apartment
I see.
communities.